Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In this particular video, we are going to discuss about a news coming from the northeastern states of Manipur, where there has been a report of large-scale protest being conducted against the governor of the state and also other major officials of the state as such. In this regard, the police has fired tear gas that has led to injury amongst the COCOMI protesters. So let us try to understand what COCOMI organization does it stand for and what is the overall reason behind this protest. So first of all, the security forces have fired tear gas cells to disperse protesters belonging to COCOMI. Now, COCOMI here stands for Coordination Committee on Manipur Integrity. Now, this particular organization can be considered as an umbrella organization that has multiple Meitei related civil service organization or civil services society. You can civil society organization, more precisely we can say, that has come together to further the interest of the Meitei community. Meitei community, as we have discussed in our earlier videos also, are living largely in the Imphal Valley region of the Manipur, and they for almost last 2 to 3 years are continuously fighting to ensure that they are also given a scheduled tribe status similar to the status that the Naga tribes that also reside in Manipur enjoys, and apart from that, also Kuki tribes also enjoy similar status as such. Now, they allegedly talk about why the security forces had to fire tear gas, because they were largely trying to storm into the Raj Bhavan. Raj Bhavan, as we know, is the residence of the governor of the state in the conflict-hit Manipur capital, Imphal as such. As we have discussed, the protest was staged a day after the Coordination Committee on Manipur Integrity declared a non-cooperation, and even it has said that a civil disobedience movement against the government will be instituted and will be conducted, and they also have demanded the resignation of the governor. The current governor of Manipur is Ajay Kumar Bhalla as such. So the question is that why suddenly the COCOMI or COCOMI organization is demanding the resignation of the government, what is resignation of the governor, and what is their main grievances. Now, first of all, the current protest we try to understand was because of an incident where it was basically, if you try to look at here, there was a media team, and this media team was going to cover Shirui Lily Festival. Shirui Lily Festival is held every year. It is a kind of annual festival in the state of Manipur, and when they are going from this bus, as you can see from this picture here, they were asked by the security forces to remove the Manipur banner, and because of this, the bus and the press reporters, they agreed that they will not remove this, and also they returned back from the Imphal East as such. So that is the photograph you can see from here. It is this particular incident that has created a furor among the Meitei group or Meitei community as such. Now, police has resorted to tear gas firing as many allegedly tried to storm into Raj Bhavan. We can see the photograph of this protest where the men and women belonging to this particular organization are holding placards and they are marching continuously toward the Raj Bhavan, and the gate of Raj Bhavan, the security barricade of the Raj Bhavan, you can clearly see from here, where police is trying to prevent their movement against the premises as such or inside the premises as such. Now, in this context, what has been the stand of the Meitei group or the Meitei community? So first of all, as I told you, they have said that since the governor has not apologized, because first of all, COCOMI has asked that you have 48 hours to apologize for this particular incident, but governor has failed to apologize, and that is why they have decided now to have a complete boycott of governor, where he will not be invited in any of the meetings or any of the what you can call as programs and functions such. Also, they will mobilize non-violent mass protests, rallies, torch processions and sit-ins across the district of the entire Manipur state as such. Not only that, they are not only demanding that governor should apologize now, they also have demanded for the immediate resignation of the security advisor in the Manipur, the DGP of the state and the chief secretary of the state, because the Meitei organizations and group believes that it is the failure of these officials to fulfill their duties that has led to such kind of incident taking place, where a bus carrying press reporter has to remove the Manipur banner. Now, also in this regard, an inquiry was instituted by the governor to look into this particular matter, and here also the Meitei organization has said that they do not believe in the impartial inquiry that can be conducted by the state government. So we should have an independent inquiry for the particular incident, and this official and these officials who will be inquiring this incident should not come from the state government, as they can have undue influence on these people as such. Now, if we try to understand about the leader of the particular organizations, COCOMI. So The leader is Athuba. He also is what you can call as the this spokesperson of this particular party, and now he has decided that he will lead a 7-member delegation of this organization to Delhi, and there they will go and meet the the Minister of Home Affairs. They will raise their concern there, and at the same time, he also has said that the main reason behind meeting with the Home Minister is to suggest ways to find an end to the ongoing conflict involving the Meitei and Kuki community. We know that Manipur, from the last 2 to 3 years, almost 2023, we can say, has been engulfed in what you can call as ethnic violence, where the Kuki groups, which largely resides in the hilly areas of Manipur, and the Meitei group, which reside in the valley areas of Manipur, they have continuously been fighting against each other. That has also led to loss of life of many people, and also because of the failure of the Manipur, the CM, to ensure that peace prevails in the Manipur, he has to resign. So in the month of January, early this year, N. Biren Singh, the then CM of Manipur state, he resigned, and since then Manipur is under the president rules as such. Now also he has demanded that there should be 2 other steps taken by the Home Minister, and this is what they're going to put forward when they meet the Home Minister in Delhi. So first demand obviously is the demand of abrogation of the SOO. SO stands for Suspension of Operations Agreement that the central government has signed with a Kuki insurgent organization called as KNO, and KNO has a militant armed wing that is called as Kuki Liberation Army as such. So let us first try to understand what is SO. Now the Suspension of Operation Agreement was signed between the central government, the government of Manipur, and the Kuki National Organization or KNO and its military faction to ensure that KNO will not use or resort to violence against the government, either central government or state government. They will not engage in harming and hurting civilians, and they will also not engage in any kind of confrontation with the security forces, whether it is the state police force or the central armed police forces. So KNO has agreed, and in return also the central and state government has given them what you can call as assurances that their forces, whether CAPF or state police forces, will not take any offensive action against their cadres as such. So this was signed back in 2008, and since then it has continuously been renewed, and also currently the suspension of operation agreement is in force. Now in this context also, as per this agreement, a joint monitoring group has been instituted, which is consisting of Principal Secretary, that is Home, Inspector General of the Additional Director General of Intelligence, and then you have the representatives of Army, Paramilitary Forces, and Home Ministry. And it is the duty of this joint monitoring group to look into the suspension of operations agreement and recommend that whether it should be renewed or whether it should be revoked as such. Now, as we have discussed, the Meitei group is largely pressurizing the central government to abrogate this suspension of operation agreement and take actions, and not only action but have a massive crackdown on the Chin Kuki terrorists to end the conflict. Now talk about Kuki, as I told you, are the tribal groups that largely resides in the state of Manipur. If you look at the ethnic distribution of the Manipur, the orange area you see here is largely inhabited by Kuki group, which makes up about 15.6% of total state's population. The yellow area that is in central part of the Imphal, you see, is Meiteis, which make up about 53% of total population. And then you have several different tribes, the other major tribe being Naga, that also inhabit the hill areas in the north. They make up roughly 24.6% of total population. So basically these are three major ethnic groups that reside in Manipur, and the current conflict is largely between the Meiteis and Kukis as such, and that is why Meitei want that government should revoke the suspension of operation agreement that has signed with the Kuki group or Kuki insurgent and militant group as such. So these are the 2-3 demands with which they are planning to meet with the Home Minister as such. Now, if we try to look at the genesis of this entire violence, though it is just one incident we are talking about and covering about today, which has led to large-scale protest, where we have discussed the incident where the banner of Manipur has to be removed from the bus as such. But if you look at the root cause of this violence, it can be understood that it erupted due to the demand put forward by the Meitei group that they should also be awarded official tribal status. Because of this, they will be able to enjoy the privileges, such as they will have reservation in the jobs, they'll have reservation in the educational institutions, and also they'll have the rights to buy land anywhere in the particular state as such. Currently, a non-tribal member of the community cannot go and buy land in the tribal area as such, but such restriction do not apply to the tribal group. Second, the Kuki fear they will further be marginalized, and that is why Kuki began a counter protest against this particular demand of Meiteis, because currently Kuki have an advantage as they are the tribal group. So they fear that if Meiteis also are granted tribal status, then there will be no difference between them and it would cause them to be further marginalized, and that is why they have begun to protest against this. So basically, two exclusive ethnic zones separated by a buffer that Central Security Forces patrol. It is a measure that has been taken recently by the Home Minister to reduce the violence. But again, violence, obviously, both groups and everyone agrees that in last few months, violence in the Manipur has declined in intensity, but it has not come to a complete halt and complete end. And also, it seems that it is not possible unless and until a final settlement is made between Kukis and Meiteis, a final agreement is reached between the Kukis and Meiteis, that how a state can move forward and how the grievances and the concern of both groups can be addressed in an impartial manner as such. Now, as we discuss, Athuba, who is the member and leader of the COCOMI group, he has said that they are still against having any talks with the Kuki groups. That is, Meiteis are categorically denying that they will hold any kind of talk with Kuki group. They are saying that we will have discussion and talks with the central government, and central government then can discuss the matter with the Kukis. So direct face-to-face talk between Kukis and Meiteis as of now seems impossible. Kuki organizations would not hold further talks. That has been the stand of Kuki also in the resumption of substantive political dialogue with the Kuki rebel groups in the SOO. That is the stand of Kukis, and also they have said that they fear that if Meiteis are granted tribal status, then they will be further marginalized, and also to secure their interest, they are continuously demanding a separate administration for the Kuki Jew community as such. Now, this demand was put forward few months back also, but central government has categorically denied agreeing to such kind of demand as such. In Manipur, in order to end the conflict, as we discussed since May 2023, both groups are continuously fighting with each other as such. So that is how we can understand the genesis of the entire conflict in the state of Manipur and what has triggered the current mass protest in the state. What is the demand of the COCOMI group, which largely represents the interest of Meitei communities. And if you, I think that you have got a better idea about all this. If you like the video, please hit like button, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more such content. Thank you very much.